Let's revere our school of fame, ever true, loyal through, for our colors white and blue. Dear Princeton High School, our love, our pride, we've always held you as our shining guide, our joys, our sorrows, hopes, dreams, and fears. We shared in PHS halls, we'll live through coming years.
Bluefield, number 23, Sammy. Number 10, Mike Eades.
Technical as Bluefield called for a technical foul in pregame warm-up was observed by the officials while the Beavers was ducking the basketball, and that is a technical.
Well, you know, that's something we've wondered about this year. We've wondered a couple of times, what happens if the official walks out while they're dunking the ball? And Beaver just happened to get caught tonight. It could have been either team.
As the officials are calling for both teams to come out on the playing floor to get away from the benches, they're not allowed to huddle and be getting coaching instructions while they're going into this. For the Tigers, we'll have Mike Eades firing the technical. He does. It's good. Mike Eades fires the technical. It's good. The Tigers on top, 1-0, with 8 minutes to play in the first quarter. How about that?
That sounds good. Let's stop the game.
The Tigers to the offense. St. Clair takes the inbound pass into Witt, moves it to the front court, goes to the point position. They go to Eades on the wing. Eades gives it back outside to St. Clair. They come around the horn to Stephon. Stephon gives it back to St. Clair. They go to Miller on the high post, firing out of the lane. It's off the iron. No good. Ball comes down to the Beavers as Dent controls. Dent puts it on the floor one time. Gives it to Baskins. Baskins will bring it to the front court. Starts it toward the left side. And he gets it over on the left side to Copley. Copley goes around the horn with it to Jones. Jones will fire from the wing on 20 feet. It's over the iron. Rebound tipped around. Dent controls for the Beavers. Puts up an air ball. Rebound comes down to Stephon. Strain controls on the right side. He gives it out to St. Clair. Jeff to the front court with it. Beavers playing his own defense, and they're collapsing on Miller inside. As DeWitt with the ball on the right side, throws it out, and it's into the backcourt, and the Tigers call for the backcourt violation, and they turn it over. The Beavers will have it at midcourt, far side. As Copley will inbound it. He brings it into Baskins. Baskins brings it to the front court, directing traffic toward the left side. Gives it to Copley on the right side. Copley looks underneath, and we've got a traveling call as he was trying to fake the Witt up in the air, and he went up into the air. We've got a traveling against the Beavers. The Tigers will have it in the backcourt. As they'll play it on the far side. As St. Clair inbounds it to Eades. Eades gives it back to Jeff. Jeff will take it to the front court for the Tigers. Up court pass to the Witt. He's on the wing, quarter court right side. Back to St. Clair on the point. They go around the horn with it to Eades. He's on the wing left side. Starts it toward the corner. Brings it back out to the Witt. He'll fire from 20 feet left side. Good. James DeWitt. 3-0. Tigers lead. 6:41 left to play in the first quarter. As Jones brings it toward the front court, gets it over to Dotson. It's tipped out of bounds by the Witt. It'll be Beaver ball out of bounds right to our left in front of the table here. As Copley inbounds it to Baskin. Baskin gives it back to Copley. He's on the wing, on the left side. Starts it toward the baseline. They go to Dent on the low post, firing on the turnaround. Good. Mike Dent gets the Beavers on the scoreboard. 3-2. Tigers lead by 1. As St. Clair brings it right across the center circle into the front court. They go to the left side with it to Eades. Mike holds it overhead. Looking underneath. Gives it back outside to St. Clair. They go to Miller underneath. Hooking out of the lane. No good. Off the front iron. Rebound by Eades underneath. Puts it up. We got a whip on the foul. As Eades in heavy traffic trying to put the ball in the air to keep from getting a 3-second violation. And the foul called on Joe Dotson. That's number 1 on Joe. Team foul number 1 on the Beavers. Eades will be on the line to shoot 2 shots. Mike Eades will try to put that right hand into action and see if he can get a piece into the net.
You know, Glenn, that was probably as hard a foul shot as there is to make before a game starts. You're really not loosened up.
Eades fires his first one. That's good. But again, you got to remember, Mike Eades is somewhat of a free spirit.
Yeah. That's a good phrase. Very descriptive of Mike Eades.
As Mike ready for a second. When he puts it up, it's good. 5-2. The Tigers lead by 3. As Jones with the ball in the backcourt. Tigers are pressing. They're playing it man-to-man. As the up-court pass to Dotson, he's in the front court with it. Holds it up, waits for help, and gets it from Jones. Jones on the right side. Quarter court, gives it to Baskins. He's on the point position. Directing traffic underneath. Gives it to Jones in the corner. Sammy goes to the baseline. Fires off the baseline. Rolls it across. No good. Rebound to the Witt. Tigers control. James into the front court on the dribble. Holds it up. They go underneath with the Stephon on the baseline. Shot blocked out of bounds. As Stephon firing off the baseline. Dent got a hand on it and spiked it out of bounds. It'll be out of bounds for the Tigers. They'll take it on the baseline. As DeWitt will inbound it. As James DeWitt gets it to Eades. Eades looks up. The ball knocked loose. There's a scramble for it in the corner. We got a out of bounds to call on the Tigers. It'll be Bluefield ball. 5-2, Tigers lead. We got 5:40 left to play in the first quarter. As Dewey Baskins brings it to the front court for the Beavers. Down the left side. Gives it underneath. He gives it to Copley on the wing. Copley goes to Dent on the low post. Dent firing. Good. Dent about 6 feet out. Puts it in the net. 5-4. Tigers lead by 1 with 5:23 to play in the first quarter. As St. Clair to the front court for the Tigers. To the Witt. He's on the wing. Gives it back to St. Clair, top of the key. To Stephon. Stephon's on the wing. Comes cross court with it to Eades. Fakes the shot. Goes to the baseline. Fires off the baseline. Got it. Got it off the glass. He put it on the glass. Hung it on the rim. 7-4. Tigers leaders. Baskins. Hounded by St. Clair. Gets it to the front court. Starts it to the right side. He gives it to Jones on the wing. And Jones gives it back outside. They go back to Jones in the corner now. Comes cross court with it to Copley. Knocked loose. Picked up by St. Clair. Jeff on the break. Behind the back pass to Eades. Eades picks it up. He is really hammered. We've got a foul on Copley, I believe. It is on Russell Copley of the Beavers. That's number 1 on Copley. Team foul number 2 on the Beavers. That'll put Eades on the free throw line for the Tigers again. 7-4. Tigers lead. We got 4:48 left to play in the first quarter. As Mike Eades goes to the free throw line. He'll fire 2 shots. The first one's up and good. He'll have a second one. As Mike back on the line to shoot 1 more. He has the ball, firing with the right hand. It is off the front of the iron. No good. Stephon rebound. Traffic. Knocked loose. Picked up by Bluefield. Taken away by Stephon. As Stephon taken away from Baskins. Gives it out to St. Clair. Jeff on the point position as the Beavers start their defensive zone. Gives it to Eades. Eades firing from 20 feet left side off the front of the iron. No good. Ball tipped out of bounds off of the Tigers. It'll be Beaver ball. As Jones with the ball in the backcourt for Bluefield. Brings it up across the midcourt right to Dodson. Dodson gives it back to Jones. Sammy going down the right side. He's at the quarter court. Gives it back outside the Baskins on the point. They come around to Copley. Copley gives it back to Baskins, top of the key with it. To the right side to Jones. He's out at the quarter court. Gives it back to Baskins, firing from 18 feet off the iron. Rebound by DeWitt. As DeWitt clears it off. Into the front court with it on the dribble. DeWitt will close it up. Leaves it for St. Clair. Jeff comes around, takes the ball, and they'll set the offense. Jeff on the point to the right side to DeWitt. James moves it down, 2 dribbles and fires. Good. James DeWitt from 23 feet. As the Tigers go out 10-4 with 3:54 left to play, and the Tigers have the ball as Eades with the steal. Goes down, lays it up and in. Mike Eades on the steal with the press. 12-4. As Baskins moves it back to the front court for the Beavers. They double team him. He gets the 2 down on the high post. We got a whistle. And what's the call? As the Beavers want a timeout. So at 3:41 left to play in the first quarter. It is Princeton 12, Bluefield 4. We'll be back right after this. Tells us they got somebody for kicking the ball, so it'll be Beaver ball out of bounds. They'll play it at midcourt right down in front of us. As Russell Copley will inbound it for the Beavers. As Russell's sitting on Charlie's table right now, getting it all sweaty. Sitting on your coat, putting wrinkles in it.
Sure is. Looks like both teams just a little bit tight, I think, early going here.
Oh, yeah, there's not a whole lot of room out there, is there? As the inbound is to Baskin. Baskin gives it back to Copley. Starts it down inside to Dodson. He puts the shot up. He is fouled by somebody, and it may be Stephon or maybe Miller. It is Stephon. Stephon Strain for the foul. It's number 1 on Stephon. Team foul, number 1 on the Tigers. And that will put Joe Dodson on the free throw line for the Bluefield Beavers. 3:36 left to play in the first quarter. The score, Princeton 12, Bluefield 4. As Dodson fires the free throw, it's off the iron, no good. He'll get a second one. Not because he earned it, but because it was coming to him to start with, right? Right. Dodson ready, fires again, it's good. 12-5, the Tigers leading. As St. Clair works it toward the front court, gets it to Mike Eades, he's in the front court on the left side. Dribbling with it, holds it overhead, gives it back to St. Clair. He's on the point position, gives it back to Eades. Eades gives it back to Jeff. They're looking inside. Jeff brings it toward the right side. Hook pass back over to Eades. Eades gives it back to St. Clair, starting to penetrate. They drop it to Miller, low post, working on Dent, firing. It is off the iron, no good. Rebound comes down to Eades. Fake, takes it outside on the dribble. Looking inside, still on the dribble with it. Gives it back to St. Clair. Jeff goes toward the lane, gives it to DeWitt in the corner, firing from deep in the corner. It's off the iron, no good. Ball run down by St. Clair, firing good. It's good. We got a foul underneath. It's on Miller, I believe. That sucker was good by Jeff St. Clair, and the foul call on James DeWitt. Not on Miller, James DeWitt. And that's number 1 on James. Team foul number 2 on the Tigers. It'll be Beaver ball. They'll have it in the backcourt. As they bring it toward the front court, it's Baskins on the dribble. 14-5. Tigers leading right now. Baskins gives it to Jones, deep in the corner right side, brings it back around to Copley in the lane. They go underneath with it to Dodson, runs into Miller. We got a foul, and it's an offensive foul on Joe Dodson. That's number 2 on Dodson. Team foul number 3 on the Beavers. As the Tigers will come to the offense now. Jeff St. Clair dribbling with it in the backcourt. Gives it to Mike Eades. Mike's in the front court with it under double team pressure. Gives it back to Jeff St. Clair. Jeff drops it to Miller down low. Miller puts it on the glass. Got it. Jim Miller. 16-5. Tigers leading. As Sammy Jones with a left-hand dribble brings it toward the front court. Holds it up inside the front court. Gives it to Dewey Baskins. Baskins brings it back toward the near side. To Copley out on the wing. They go across the court with it to Jones. Fakes the shot. Comes around, dribbles one time, fires. He is fouled by Eades. And on Mike, that will be foul number 1. Team foul number 3 on the Tigers. And that will put Sammy Jones on the free throw line for the Bluefield Beavers.
Sam Jones is a fellow that usually makes his foul shots. He's usually Bluefield's long-range threat all the way around.
Time will tell. Jones fires. It's good. Okay, Bob. Well,
I was actually hoping to jinx him.
I got something I got to show you. And I don't want any more static from you about this. Jones fires. He hits it again. It is 16-7. The Tigers leading with 2:15 left to play in the first quarter. St. Clair will bring it to the front court. To Eades on the left side. Eades gives it back to St. Clair. Jeff holds it overhead, brings it around to DeWitt. trying to get it underneath the Miller. It's a stolen pass, stolen by Dent. Gets it to Jones. Sammy into the front court with it. On the right side, still dribbling. Gives it outside to Baskins. Baskins drops it to Dent on the high post. Miller blocks the shot. The ball is loose in the lane. We got a whistle and a foul. That's on one of the Tigers. It's on Eades, I believe. It is on Eades. That's number 2 on Mike. Team foul number 4. Team foul number 4 on the Tigers. It'll be out of bounds for the Beavers on the baseline. As the inbounds pass comes out to Baskins. Gives it to Copley. Copley gets a screen from Dent. Fires from outside. Good. Copley gets the Beavers within 7. 16-9. The Tigers are leading with 1:43 left to play in the first quarter. As Eades gives it to St. Clair in the front court. St. Clair drives and leads. Gives it to Stephon. Goes to the baseline. We've got a whistle and a foul. And maybe on Jones?
I believe so. That'd be number 1 on Jones.
It's on Sammy Jones. That's number 1 on Sammy. That's team foul number 4 on the Beavers. It'll be out of bounds for the Tigers. They'll have it on the baseline. As DeWitt will inbound it for the Tigers. As James holds the ball overhead. Flips it inbounds to Mike Eades in the right corner. Mike brings it back outside. Gives it to St. Clair. Firing from the top of the key. Good. Jeff St. Clair puts it in for the Tigers. 18-9. The Tigers leading by 9 as Jones brings it to the front court for the Beavers. Gives it to Baskins. Baskins comes to the point position. Holds it overhead, looking underneath. It's to Jones. To Baskins, they go to the Dent in the corner. Comes back across court with it to Copley, firing off the side of the key. It's no good. Rebound to Miller in pressure. Gets it outside to Eades. As the crowd wanted to foul on Copley. As Copley comes up, the ball's knocked loose. Eades picks it up. Looking for help now. Gets it over to St. Clair. Jeff on the move with it. Gets it to DeWitt. Goes to the baseline. Drops it to Miller. Goes under. Lays it up. No good. Miller tips. Good. Miller. 20-9. The Tigers leading. As Baskins works it to the front court for the Beavers. Starts it to the right side. To Jones. Comes back toward the lane. Jump shot blocked by Stephon. We got a whistle on a foul. Is that on Eades before he went up?
Yeah, I believe it is.
It is on Mike Eades. That's number 3 on Mike. Team foul number 5 on the Tigers as David Phillips comes in for Mike Eades. But he's in just about a second and a half too late.
Well, he actually came over and want to check in with Charlie Wright. Charlie couldn't help him. I couldn't help him, could I?
Or refused to help him.
No, I need him in there.
Jones fires a free throw. It's good.
From what Freeman says, he probably refused.
Jones fires again. It's good. 20-11. Tigers lead by 9. It's Jeff St. Clair with the ball for the Tigers. Brings it toward the front court. Gives it to James DeWitt. He's on the left side. Gives it back to St. Clair. To Phillips in the corner. Goes to the baseline. Firing off the baseline. It's in and out. No good. Ball tipped up. Picked up now by the Beavers as Jones brings it down. Jones with it in the back court. Brings it toward the front court on the dribble. Still dribbling with it. Gives it to Baskins. Baskins brings it toward the near side to Copley. Copley on the wing, left side. Copley goes toward the baseline with it. Gives it back outside to Baskins. Ball knocked loose. Picked up by Baskins. Fires off the baseline. We got a whistle on the foul underneath. And that's on Stephon. That's number 2 on Stephon. Team foul number 6 on the Tigers. And the Tigers are now getting themselves into serious foul trouble. And that will put Joe Dotson on the free throw line for the Bluefield Beavers. And he will shoot a 1-on-1. As Dotson fires the first one, it's off the iron, no good. Ball runs to the corner, chased down by Stephon, strain of the Tigers. Stephon gets it out, trying to go up court with it, just intercepted by the buzzer by Jones with a shot, no good. So at the end of the first quarter of play, the Princeton Tigers 20, the Bluefield Beavers 11, and we'll be back for a swift pause for this. Okay.
The first quarter of this ball game saw Princeton connect on 8 field goals. Bluefield 3 field goals. Princeton 4 of 5 from the foul line. Bluefield 5 of 7 from the foul line. Charlie, team set.
Okay, for Princeton in the first quarter, they made 8 of 16 for 50%. Bluefield made 3 of 10 for 30%. Princeton out-rebounded Bluefield 8 to 4, and both teams committed 5 turnovers.
That seems to be fairly close. Princeton has hit the field goals, and Bluefield really hasn't hit them. And Glenn May, I think, wants me to read something about how you relieve muscle cramps. For those of you who don't know, we've had a standing argument, and I think he has some unorthodox methods. According to this article by Dr. C. Hancock, one way to relieve a muscle cramp is the aqua pinch, which was suggested to me by a football coach and is one that works. It consists of pinching your upper lip, I don't believe a word of it, between your thumb and forefinger as hard as you can. Keep it up until the muscle relaxes. It sounds unlikely. It sure does, but it works.
Start of the second quarter. Miller against Dent. Miller tips it to Phillips. David picks it up, dribbles one time, and holds. Gives it to Jeff St. Clair. They bring it over to DeWitt. He's on the wing on the right side. Gives it back outside to St. Clair, to Phillips on the wing. As Phillips backs his way in, holds it up. They double team him. He gets it outside to Jeff, firing from 20 feet. Good. Jeff St. Clair line drives it in. 22-11. Tigers lead by 11. As Batson works it toward the front court for the Beavers. DeWitt playing the defense. Batson still on the move. Brings it toward the near side. Trying to get it to Copley. It's tipped out of bounds by James DeWitt. Tigers will drop back into a 2-3 zone right now. As Batson gives the ball in. We got Jones down to Batson's top of the key. They go around the horn with it to Copley. He's on the right side. Goes to the baseline. Gives it back outside to Batson. Back to Copley. Goes to the baseline. Shuffles it to Den in the lane. Across the lane. Firing. It's in and out. No good. Tipped up once by the Beavers. No good. Phillips rebounds for the Tigers. Gets it outside to St. Clair. Jeff into the front court with it. Accelerates. Goes to the baseline. Holds it up. Gives it outside to Phillips. They go across court to the Witt. He's throwing from the free throw line. It's off the iron. No good. Miller rebounds in traffic. Puts it up and in and hits the floor. And we may have an injury. They're both up. Miller got the bucket. He and Jones hit the floor hard. They're both up. 24-11. Tigers leading. As Jones into the front court with it, runs over St. Clair. And we got an offensive foul on Batson. On Batson. That's number 1 on Batson. Team foul number 5 on the Beavers. 24-11.
And I've been doing basketball. I might have protested that particular call.
But you're not, and now will you?
No, I wouldn't protest a call like that.
St. Clair gives it to Miller on the baseline. They double team him. Works his way underneath. Goes under, puts it over top of Dent, and it's no good. He's fouled by Dent. As Miller had it off the glass and down in the bucket, it spun back out. That foul's on Dent, number 1 on Mike. Team foul number 6. That'll put Miller on the line. He'll shoot 2. We got 6:40 left to play in the first half. The Tigers are leading 24-11. As Jim Miller will be on the free throw line to shoot 2 shots for the Tigers. Jim fires. It's good. He'll have a second one. 25-11. As the Tigers trying to get breathing room here on the Beavers. As Jim aims, fires, good. 26-11. Tigers lead with 6:39 to play in the first half. As Sammy Jones in the backcourt for the Beavers. Gives it to Dewey Batson. Batson brings it to the front court. Left-hand dribble. Brings it down the left side. Goes to the quarter court. Still on the dribble. They give it to Dent. High post. Mike spinning. Firing. Off the back iron. No good. Phillips rebounds for the Tigers. Gets it outside to Jeff St. Clair. Jeff into the front court with it in traffic. Starts it to the right side. Puts it on a shot up on the glass. It's no good. We got a whistle and a foul. And let's see what we got to call. It may be. We're screened off. We'll see what they call. It is on. It is on Jeff St. Clair. That's number 1 on Jeff.
They'll put somebody on the 1-and-1 situation.
And that will put Sammy Jones on the line. Into the ball game for the Beavers will be Stephon Thomas checking in. As Russell Copley checked out, I think. Jones fires the free throw good. He'll get a second one on the 1-and-1. 26-12. Tigers leading. Jones will have one more. He fires. That's good. As 26-13, and St. Clair will bring it to the front court for the Tigers. On the move with it. Brings it toward the right side to Phillips. Phillips gives it back to St. Clair, top of the key. They go around the horn with it to the Witt. They drop it to Miller. Miller on the high post, gives it outside to St. Clair, firing inside the key. No good. Rebound, fought for, kicks around, picked her up by Mike Dent. Oh, the Beavers. He gets it out to Sammy Jones. Jones looking up court, brings it to the front court, and holds up into the front court. Moves it to the near side to Thomas, firing from outside. Good. Stephon Thomas from 18 feet. Hits it. 26-15 as the Beavers get back within 11 of the Tigers. As St. Clair into the front court. To the left side to the Witt. Goes to the baseline, firing from 20 feet. Hammers it in there. James DeWitt. 28-15. Tigers lead by 13. We got 5:30 to play in the first half. As Jones into the front court with it for the Beavers. He's on the left side. Gives it back outside to Dewey Batson. Dewey directing traffic coming around the horn. To Dent on the high post. Gives it back to Jones. We got a whistle underneath.
3 seconds.
3-second violation on the Beavers. As Jones faked before putting his shot up, and the Beavers moving into rebound position, call for the 3-second infraction. As Jeff St. Clair will bring it to the front court for the Tigers. Right through the center circle. Dribbling with it. Looks back over Coach Ralph Ball, gets a few words of instruction. And they take it to the left side to DeWitt. He'll fire from 20 feet. It's good. James DeWitt. 28-15. Tigers leading, or is that 30-15? Excuse me. Tigers leading by 15 as St. Clair steals the ball. Drives, plays it up and in. Jeff St. Clair puts the Tigers up 32-15. As Batson will move it to the front court for the Beavers this time. Batson out front with it. Again on the high post. Around the horn to Thomas. To Jones. Firing no good. Jones rebounds his own shot. Goes underneath. It's knocked loose. Picked up. There's a big scramble for it. We've got St. Clair, Phillips, and Dent on the floor.
It's going to be St. Clair and Dent. Clint, we've got an interesting thing here, I think, that explains how this first half gone. Eades 8 points, St. Clair 8 points, DeWitt 8 points, Miller 8 points. Very balanced scoring.
That's the name of the game. As we'll have Mike Dent and Jeff St. Clair to jump. Jeff at 5'8", Mike Dent at 6'8". Jeff missed the ball. Tipped out to Kevin Smith, checking the ball game for the Beavers. T-Bone's in. Kevin Smith gives it to Thomas. Firing from outside. It's off the iron. No good. Ball tipped around. It's pulled down by Miller. Miller to St. Clair in traffic. Gets away from Jones. Moves it to the front court. Behind the back pass to James DeWitt up and in. A beauty. 34-15. Tigers running. As Kevin Smith will work it to the front court for the Beavers. Gets it to Jones. They lose it out of bounds. It'll be Tiger ball. Now Miller may have tipped that out of bounds.
He may have.
But the Beavers give it up. The Tigers have it. And the Beavers want a timeout. So with 4:09 left to play in the first half, it is Bluefield 15, Princeton 34. We'll be back with more. Let's pause for this right now.
Yeah.
With 4:09 left to play in the first half, you said the Beavers only have 4 field goals today?
Right, they have 4 field goals and 7 points via the free throw route. And the free throws are actually keeping them in the ball game. Princeton so far has 14 field goals. So 14-4 from the field.
That's tough on the Beavers. They've got to do something about that. What's that shooting percentage look like, Charlie?
Princeton's shooting real good. They're, 6-7 in the second quarter, and Bluefield's 1 of 6. And Princeton shot 50% in the first quarter.
Very fine shooting. That's not bad. That'll win in Bob's backyard.
It sure will.
All right, DeWitt will inbound it for the Tigers. He gets it into Jeff St. Clair. Jeff into the front court with it, gives it back to DeWitt. DeWitt's on the wing, gives it underneath to Scooter Quill, who checked in, and they go to Miller on the baseline. Gives it back across court. It's intercepted as Thomas intercepts for the Beavers. Thomas on the dribble with it, moves it to the front court. Down the left side, gives it to Smith. Kevin gives it right back to Thomas. He's on the wing left side. They go to Dent on the high post. Holds it overhead, gives it to Thomas, firing off the baseline. No good. We got a whistle underneath as it came off the flange. And that foul looks like it's on one of the Tigers because the Beavers slapped.
On David Phillips, number 1 on Phillips.
As David Phillips called for the foul, and that's his first. And the team's in over their head already. 3:46 left to play in the first half. It's 34-15. The Tigers are leading. The Tigers out there right now with Miller, DeWitt, Phillips, St. Clair, and Guill. As the Beavers back with Thomas, Dent. And on the free throw line will be Dotson. Fires the free throw. It's good. He'll get a second one. And also out there for the Beavers is Jones and Smith. Kevin Smith, Sammy Jones, Joe Dotson, Stephon Thomas, and Mike Dent for the Beavers.
Joe Dotson comes about as close as anybody I've seen as to shooting like Stephon Murray.
And puts the second one up, no good. It's in and out. Rebound pulled down by the Tigers as Miller controls. Gives it to Guill. Scooter into the front court with it. Starts it to the right side. Gives it back across court to St. Clair. Jeff into the corner with it to DeWitt. He works down low to Miller, firing off the baseline. No good. Pull it short. Rebound to St. Clair underside. He puts it up and in. And he is fouled. And boy, St. Clair's got no business in there. We could hardly see. Foul call on Mike Dent. That's number 2 on Mike.
Glenn, Jimmy Miller hasn't picked up his first foul yet.
You said that. But St. Clair in tall timber had the ball, and I don't see how he got it back to the bucket because it went through a lot of hands, and it finally went up and crawled its way over the rim and in. Well, and now Jeff's on the line to shoot 1 free throw. Jeff fires. It's off the back iron, no good. Rebound tipped around, picked up by James DeWitt, firing good. Off, and Miller tipped it in, slam dunked it really, and the crowd wants offensive goaltending, but they counted. So we give it to Miller or DeWitt? I'll give it to Miller, I guess. 38-16, Tigers up. He really volleyballed it in. That was Miller's goal.
Okay. ought to give a point apiece on that one.
As Miller volleyballed it in, he reached out one hand, grabbed the ball, and slammed it into the bucket. So the Tigers come back to the offense on the turnover by the Beavers. 38-16, Tigers lead. St. Clair with the ball in the front court. They go to Miller on the high post, works on Dent, goes around, fires. Dent blocks the shot. Dent pulls it out of the air, gives it outside to Smith. Kevin into the front court with it on the right side. Works on St. Clair, fires over St. Clair. It's on the iron, no good. Rebound, fourth quarter, we got a foul. And that's on DeWitt, I believe, underneath. It is on James DeWitt, and that's number 2 on James. Don't lose that clipping, Bob. I need that for documentation next year during football season. When you start
Buddy, with that particular story, you need all the documentation you can get.
Now, Charlie's going to read that and memorize it. Memorize that to memory. Sammy Jones on the free throw line for the Beavers. Fires the first one. It's good. He'll have another one on the one-on-one. 38-17. We got 2:54 left to play in the first half. Jones ready. Fires. It's thin and good. He got a lot of iron with that, but it went to the net, and that's what they count. As Scooter Guell with the ball in the backcourt for the Tigers. As the Beavers trying to zone traffic. Gets in the front court to Phillips. Phillips. Double team. Ball knocked loose. Picked up by Miller. Drives the baseline. Picks up. We got an offensive foul on Miller. That's number 1 on Jim. As Jeff St. Clair counseling Jim, said, Jeff, when you go underneath, you got to do like I do, protect the ball. And Jim's looking down at Jeff and said, okay, buddy. Kevin Smith with the ball. Brings it to the front court for Bluefield. To Joe Dotson. There's Dotson on the left side with it. Gives it back out to Smith. To Thomas. Stefan firing for the left side off the glass. No good. Rebound and a big battle underneath. We got a whistle and a foul. And that may be on Miller. No, it is on David Phillips.
David picked up 2 and Princeton wants timeout, Glenn.
And the Tigers want a timeout. So with 2:28 left to play in the first half, the Princeton Tigers 38, the Bluefield Beavers 18. We'll be back right after this. The Tigers are leading, but the Beavers will be on the free throw line, and they will have a chance to shoot a one-on-one. The foul's on the rebound.
Glenn, I was talking to some of the Princeton fans, and Rusty Harris, I don't believe is with the team, and I think maybe he got poked in the eye or punched in the eye in practice this week, and is home. I understand with his father, Ron Harris, listening to the ball game, so we want to say hello to Ron and Rusty Harris.
All right. Ron, Rusty, we wish you were here. There's a lot of noise. It's hot. Just ring your dial and come on over. How bad is his eye? He's not mobile with it, or he can't get out, or?
I'm not sure. I just picked up bits and pieces.
Well, we certainly hope that he comes out all right for wish for Rusty the best. As Dotson fires the free throw, it's good. Of course, we remember Rusty playing a lot of defensive end in football this year. Joe Dotson on the line. He'll try one more. He fires. It's off the front iron. No good. Miller rebound. Gives it outside to David Phillips. He flips it across to Jeff St. Clair. Jeff will walk it to the front court. We got 2:22 left to play in the first half. 38-19 Tigers on top. As Scooter Guell with the ball on the wing, left side. Gives it back outside to St. Clair. They come around the horn with it to the win. As the Tigers spreading it out right now, they're going to use the clock. As St. Clair standing out toward midcourt, faking a pass back and forth to DeWitt, gives it to Guell. Scooter gives it back to Jeff. Jeff double team, gets it over to DeWitt. DeWitt gives it back to St. Clair. And Jeff standing out toward the center court, gives it to Scooter Guell. Scooter goes down, gives it across court to DeWitt, back outside to St. Clair, standing with one foot in the circle. Gives it back to DeWitt. To St. Clair. They whip it around outside just to run the clock off. 1:43 to play. DeWitt with the ball. Gives it back to St. Clair. To Guell. Scooter dribbles 2 times. Gives it back to St. Clair. Jeff goes to the top of the key with it. Feeds it to the left side to Guell. He gives it back outside to St. Clair. They come around the horn with it to James DeWitt. DeWitt dribbles down across the key and bounce passes out to Scooter. Now Scooter comes across from the other way, and they knock the ball loose. And knocked out of bounds, and it'll be Beaver ball. And somebody got a hand on it, bounced off Scooter's knee, I believe. 38-19, we got 1:20 to play in the first half. As Kevin Smith with the ball for the Beavers. On the point position, he gives it to Dent. Firing from 14 feet, puts up the brick, comes off the front iron, straight into David Phillips' hand. David hands it to Jeff St. Clair. Jeff will walk it to the front court for the Tigers again. They try to double team it in the back court, so he passes to James DeWitt in the front court. James, cross court with the pass. To Scooter Guell. Scooter standing at quarter court left side. To Phillips, deep in the corner on the left side. David dribbles a couple of times. They double team him. He drops it to Miller on the low post. Miller works hooking across the lane, comes off the iron, no good. We got a foul. No, the ball knocked out of bounds off of the Beavers.
And you notice who was in that tall timber was Jeff St. Clair.
There again. Blunt tip Etler, I guess.
He didn't get the ball. He just confused everybody else.
As DeWitt inbounds it to Quill in the corner. It's knocked out of bounds by Sammy Jones of the Beavers. It'll be Tiger ball. They'll have it at the front court on the left side. As Scooter will inbound it. He gives it to Jeff St. Clair. Jeff drops it underneath to David Phillips. Goes underneath, tries to put the shot up. It's no good. St. Clair picks it up, It's knocked out of bounds. And it'll be Beaver ball, as they say. Phillips touched it on the way out of bounds. 38-19 with 36 seconds left to play in the first half, and Kevin Smith to the front court with it for the Beavers. Top of the key. To the right side to Thomas. Firing from outside. It's off of the iron. No good. DeWitt skying above that iron to bring that rebound down. As James gets it to St. Clair. Jones hounding St. Clair, so Jeff gives it back over to James DeWitt. DeWitt into the front court with it, brings it towards the right side, gives it to Scooter Quill. Quill gives it back to St. Clair, standing out in the center circle, gives it back to Quill, drops it to Miller on the low post right side. Miller on the baseline, trying to get it outside, it's knocked loose, picked up by Jones. Jones comes down, drives on St. Clair, fires. We got a whistle and a foul, and that bucket went in. And that foul will be on Jeff. That's number 2 on Jeff. So 38-21, the Tiger lead now cut to 17. And they'll put Sammy Jones on the free throw line. You're right, Bob. He's made his free throws tonight, hasn't he?
He's 8 for 8. He has 1 field goal, and he's going for his 11th point.
Sammy Jones fires with the right hand. It's off of the flange. No good. Rebound. And traffic picked up by Thomas, firing good. Thomas puts it up and in at the buzzer. So at the end of the first half of play, the Princeton Tigers 38, the Bluefield Beavers 23. We'll be back right after this. Now, something happened to that clock. 38-23, the Tigers are leading as the Tigers had 20 points in the first quarter, 18 points in the second quarter for a halftime total of 38. The Beavers had 11 in the first quarter, 12 in the second for a halftime total of 23. And we'll be back with all the stats. First, let's pause for this. As we're at halftime at the Brushfork Armory, the Tigers leading the Bluefield Beavers in the sectional tournament, 38-23. The winner here tonight advances next Saturday night to the Raleigh County Armory to take on the winner of the sectional tournament over there. They're playing tonight. It will be Beckley or Oak Hill. We've got the stats working, and we'll be ready with the stats. When we got a chance, let's take 30 seconds for this message.
Meanwhile, back at the Acupitch Clinic, the score at halftime is 38-23. Princeton well in the lead in the first half. Individual stats, Sammy Jones, 1 field goal, 8 for 9 from the foul line, 10 points. Dewey Bascom did not score. Now, Dewey's a good outside shooter for Beaver, and he did not get an opportunity to score that first half. Joe Dotson, 3 of 7 from the foul line, 3 points. Russell Copley, 1 field goal, 2 points. Big Mike did 2 field goals for 4 points. Stephen Thomas, who came in the second quarter, 2 field goals, 4 points. Bluefield has only 6 field goals in the first half, 11 of 16 from the foul line. For Princeton, Mike Eades, who was saddled with 3 fouls going into the second quarter, has 4 of 5 from the foul line, 2 field goals, 8 points. Jeff St. Clair, 5 field goals, well above his average on the season. Jeff on the season has been averaging 7.6 points per game, and he's already got 10 in his first half. James DeWitt, 5 field goals, no opportunities from the free throw stripe, 10 points. Jimmy Miller, 4 field goals, 2 of 2 from the foul line, 10 points. Giving Princeton 16 field goals, 10 more than Bluefield, 6 of 8 from the foul line, 5 less than Bluefield from the foul line. Princeton leads at halftime 38-23. And Charlie White, do you have the team stats?
Sure do, Bob. Princeton in the first half, they made 16 of 31, 51%. Bluefield made 6 of 23 for 26%. Princeton pulled down 18 rebounds compared to 10 for Bluefield. Princeton committed 11 turnovers compared to 10 for Bluefield. We'll be right back with special guests at halftime.
Alongside, I've got the assistant coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes, Coach Chuck Machock. I got that right there.
You sure did. That's pretty good.
First of all, we'd like to welcome you aboard, Coach.
Well, I've been down here before to watch Jimmy. He's certainly a fine player, and it's always a pleasure to come down to this area to watch such fine high school basketball.
And, of course, people say, well, you know, this fellow, he's from Ohio State. What does he know about West Virginia basketball? But, in fact, you do know quite a bit about West Virginia basketball.
A little background. I worked for Sonny up at West Virginia University for 2 years, right before he went over to become the athletic director there at Morehead State. So I'm
Coach, we're talking about Coach Sonny Moran, who was at the helm of the WVU Mountaineers some years back. I shouldn't say some years back. It makes you sound old.
Well, that's about 7 years ago, I think, real quick.
And then, of course, Jody Gardner stepped in, and now, of course, Gail Catlett at the helm up there. Ohio State, of course, under the head coach Miller up there, and they're doing quite well this year. They had their problems along the way, but I feel as though the Ohio State basketball program is very much on the move, don't you?
Well, we would have to agree with that. We came in 5 years ago, and they had 3 straight years of losing basketball, which is kind of foreign to the school in any sport, to be honest with you. And we won 9, then 16, then 19, then 21, and took it to the NIT and the NCAA back-to-back. Got beat last year in a Final 8 by by UCLA after beating Arizona State, and we thought it was on the move. We had 4 of them coming back, although we did lose an All-NBA performer here in a couple of years in Kelvin Ramsey. I wouldn't be surprised if he would be first or second in the Rookie of the Year competition.
I was able to see Ramsey play one time when he was a freshman, and I was awful impressed with him. I thought he was one of the best guards in the nation.
Well, I'd have to go along with that. Certainly our fans would, because our guard play hurt us this year, Greg, and that's probably where you'd have to point the finger first. We just did not have a control guard out there that could handle a basketball and put it in the hands of Herb Williams and Clark Kellogg when it had to be. And we had a string late in the season where we lost 5 games, and we ran into 5 zone defenses. And without the perimeter shooting, without the ability to get the ball inside the way we run our offense, teams dropped into it and gave us a lot of trouble.
With a big, of course, the big campus that you're used to working with there at Ohio State, we feel as though high school basketball in this area comes the closest to having a college atmosphere around it of any place else in the country.
Well, I think so. I think that's a carryover from, not only the West Virginia fan who loves basketball, but your closeness to the ACC where basketball is king. It's not quite that way in the Big Ten. Football is king in the Big Ten. I'm not saying we don't play basketball, but the fans get excited about first and foremost football, and then we'll come over to the basketball season and give us, everything they can. But to be quite honest with you, I think you're right. Your basketball in southern West Virginia has always been the best in the state, and I think people get excited about that.
One thing I didn't notice is just handed me a list of Ohio State All-Americans down through the years. Start that with Jerry Lucas back in the 60s.
Well, he started with the 60s, and that's who we've had since then, so you're talking about some awful fine basketball players.
John Havlicek.
There's one that everyone will know, certainly Bobby Knight. I don't know if I'd put him on the All-American list. He was a basketball player there.
And then, of course, now the head coach of Tennessee is John DeVoe.
John was the captain there.
He played, was he captain of the Ohio State team?
He was captain of the Ohio State Buckeyes, but this was after the Lucas, Havlicek, Noel, Siegfried Roberts team.
Of course, now I remember in the early 60s, now the University of Cincinnati, we have to throw that in because we have an alumnus on the staff. The University of Cincinnati won 2 straight back-to-back NCAA titles. Both years they defeated the Ohio State Buckeyes.
That's correct. This Lucas team as sophomores won the national championship and had everybody coming back. And since they beat them both times, the following year they were 30-0 when Cincinnati beat them by 2 or 3
I read
overtime.
somewhere Jerry Lucas is the only man ever to win a high school state championship. Then he was on an Olympic championship team, gold medal winning team. His college team won the NCAA, and then his pro team won the NBA title.
Correct. The next one, that may be one of a. We'll have to give that one to your sports reporter up there in Wheeling and let him analyze that. But it was quite a thing. We had our banquet the other night, and Jerry sent Herbie Williams a congratulatory note. Herbie scored 2,011 points to be our all-time leading scorer. That is over 4 years, whereas Jerry's record, 1998, was over 3 years. But Jerry has still 21 records in scoring at Ohio State.
Coach, we like to, before we let you go now, we want to get your evaluation of the Tigers and how they stand up against other high school teams around the nation. I'm sure you see others when you're recruiting.
Right.
Don't
I've seen them play 4 times. I'm their good luck charm. They haven't lost yet, and I know they lost a few times during the season. I think you've got a very, very outstanding player, Jimmy Miller. What a fine inside player he is. I'd have to think he'd have to go out to forward in our league or in most leagues that he would want to play in, such as the ACC or the SEC. He has a great touch, shoots the ball as well as just about any perimeter player playing within 20 feet that you're going to find at his side. When man hit the inside pass when they have to, I think this is what you have to have. People pulling together, make that right chemistry, as I said, so that everything falls in place.
Coach, we want to wish
buzzer. We're going to have to get going.
We want to wish you and your Ohio State Buckeyes the best of luck throughout your building career, and we hope to see you guys on top there in the near
All
future.
right, I appreciate that. We hope so, too.
All righty.
As they're questioning something about the clock right now, we're getting ready to start the second half. This is Glenn May sitting Mike's side. I've got Bob Graham over on the right side. I got Charlie Wright over on the wrong side.
Glenn, I'm trying to hear the discussion, but I really can't figure out exactly what it is.
I don't know what's going on.
Is the clock not working, or?
I don't know. But now they run some time off that clock in the second quarter somewhere or other. What was it? That's Chunky over. He can tell us.
What was
What's that?
the clock flickered a couple of times, and
That's because somebody kicked that electric cord up there. I don't know what it is. All right, we've got Mike Dent. He'll be jumping against Jimmy Miller. The Tigers coming out with Miller, DeWitt, Strain, Eades, and St. Clair. And the Beavers are out there with Dent, Smith, Dodson, Jones, and Thomas, it looks like. As they can't get the toss in the air. Now the toss controlled by the Tigers. DeWitt puts it to Eades. Gets the pick from St. Clair. Fires no good. Rebound to DeWitt. He's in heavy traffic. They double team him. And he gets it to Stephon on the baseline. Stephon dribbles one time. Fires off the baseline. He is fouled by Joe Dodson. That's number 3 on Dodson. And that'll put Stephon on the free throw line for the Tigers. He'll shoot 2 shots. As we just got the third quarter underway. 7:50 left to play in the third quarter. 38-23. Tigers leading by 15. As Stephon fires, it's good.
do you notice a similarity between Joe Dodson and Stephon Strain in the foul shooting department?
Yeah. Stephon fires, it's in and out, no good. Rebound comes down to Dodson and the Beavers. Gets it over to Smith. Kevin will bring it to the front court for the Beavers. He's on the point position, trying to get it to Jones. Jones has got it in the corner, firing from deep in the corner. Good. Sammy Jones from about 23 to 25 feet drives it in. 39 to 25. Tiger lead to 14. As the Beavers press, the Tigers break it by getting it ball to Miller way out high. To St. Clair. Jeff standing out front, gives it to Eades on the wing. They go to DeWitt on the high post, firing off the top of the key. Good. James DeWitt. 41-25. Tigers lead. As Smith will bring it to the front court for Bluefield. To the top of the key. Gives it to Dent, down low, works, fires, no good. Rebound to Miller. Miller gets it out to Eades. Eades into the front court with a full head of steam. Holds it up now, looking for help as they double teaming. Gives it back outside to Jeff St. Clair. Jeff's on the point position. Beavers playing a 1-3-1 zone right now. As DeWitt gives the ball across the court to Strain. Goes to the baseline. Fires off the baseline. No good. Eades puts up a rebound. He is undercut by Dodson. And that foul on Joe Dodson. That's number 4 on Joe Dodson. That's number 2 on the Beavers in the second half.
Going to get Russell Copley in the ball game for Joe Dodson.
And now an undercutting foul.
Well, they're just
it's a common foul, so it's out of bounds to the Tigers. They'll have it on the baseline. As Copley checks in for the Beavers. DeWitt trying to get it into Miller. Tipped loose and tipped out of bounds. It'll be Tiger ball. As Charlie Wright shows the good hands and hands the ball back to the official.
beautiful hand.
As Eades inbounds it to St. Clair. Jeff moving cross court, hounded by Smith. Gets it to DeWitt on the wing, gets it to Eades. Eades goes to the baseline. Fine, good. Mike Eades from about 14 feet right side. 43-25 as the Tigers will press. And Smith with the ball in the backcourt for the Beavers. Gets it to Thomas. Into the front court with it now to Copley. Copley starts it down the left side. Holds it up. Gives it back to Smith, top of the key. Kevin will fire from 20 feet. It's good. Kevin Smith, a very smooth-looking one-hander, puts it in the net. 43-27. As Mike Eades with the ball gets it to the front court to Stephon, and he almost knocks Miller down with the ball. Jim recovers. Gives it back outside to Mike Eades. And Eades firing beside the key. No good. Rebound. Tip loose. Picked up by Copley. Miller takes it away. It's up and in. Jim Miller. 45-27. As the Tigers setting up a zone trap now as they'll double team in the backcourt. Jones with the ball for the Beavers. Gets into the front court to Copley. Goes down towards the lane. Pulls up fire from 12 feet. No good. Miller rebounds for the Tigers. Gives it out to St. Clair. Jeff on the move. Into the front court. Starts to the left side. Goes to Stephon. Firing off the iron. No good. Rebound taken off by Tanner Bluefield. Gets it out to Smith. Kevin into the front court with it on the right side. Holds it up. They wait for traffic to clear. Kevin will start the offense now. He'll fire from 20 feet. Off the iron. No good. Ball tipped around. Pulled down by DeWitt of the Tigers. James DeWitt on the left-hand dribble. Now the right-hand dribble into the front court on the left side. Holds it up. Gives it to Jeff St. Clair. Gives it back to James DeWitt. Goes toward the baseline. Drops it to Miller downside, and we've got a foul as Miller pushed off, I believe.
They've got 3 seconds. 3 seconds.
3-second call, okay. I'll take that rather than a foul, though I did see Jim push away.
I didn't.
45.
I haven't seen Jim foul all year.
45-27, Tigers lead. Kevin Smith is off the backcourt for the Beavers. Gets it to Copley in the front court. Goes down the left side with it. Gives it outside to Thomas. Thomas on the dribble. Drops it to Den on the high post. It's tipped loose outside. Picked up by Jones as Jones controls for the Beavers. Gives it back to Smith. They goes to the left side to Thomas. Gives it back to Smith. Top of the key. Around the horn with it to Jones. Goes toward the lane. Fires from 18 feet off the flange. No good. Rebound to Dent. Firing from 18 off the side. No good. Rebound to Stephon. As they double team him in the backcourt. Clears it out of traffic. Gives it to Jeff St. Clair. Jeff into the front court with it to DeWitt. As James standing right to our left. Dribbling with it. Gives it outside as gives it right back to James DeWitt. He's on the wing. Starts it down toward the baseline. Flips it across court to Jeff St. Clair. Jeff into the corner with it to Stephon. Drops it to Miller on the post. Firing off the glass. No good. Tipped up once. No good by Eades. Eades controls. He's on the baseline with it. Challenges underneath. They triple team him. And he puts it outside to Jeff St. Clair. Jeff drives. Oh, and he is really floored. And Jeff may be hurt. Jeff's up. He's covered the pine nut. That foul was on Russell Copley, and that's number 2 on Copley. As Jeff is up and walks out to the free throw line, but boy, he took a spill, didn't he?
He sure did. We had a fan behind us indicate that it should have been a jump ball. Jump ball. Now, the only thing that jumped was Jeff when he bounced off the floor.
Jeff fires the first free throw. It's good. He'll have a second one. 46-27. Tigers leading by 19 now. 4:18 left to play in the third quarter. As St. Clair fires again. It's good. 47-27. Tiger lead out to 20. As we're in the third quarter with 4:15 left to play in the third quarter. As Thomas with the ball for the Beavers gets it to Copley. He's on the left side front court. Trying to get it to Dent. It's knocked loose. Picked up by Copley. Goes under. Puts it up and in. As he laid it up on the flange, it rolled over into the bucket. 47-29. As Eades with the ball in the backcourt. They double team him, so he gets it to Jeff St. Clair. Jeff gives it back to Eades. They're still in the backcourt. He gets it to the front court to James DeWitt. DeWitt drops it underneath the Stephon. Then traffic goes up. We got a whistle on the foul. As Dent and Copley both back there, and maybe Thomas, let's see who got him. The foul will be called on Russell Copley. That's number 3 on Copley. Getting into the ball game will be Howard Owens of the Beavers. Also into the ball game will be Dewey Baskins. As Copley comes out and Smith comes out. We'll have Stephon Strain on the free throw line for the Beavers. And he'll shoot 2 shots. 3:51 to play in the third quarter, 47-29. As Stephon fires, it comes off the left side of the iron, no good. So he'll have another one. Stephon fires again, it's off the left side of the iron again. Rebound comes down to Owens of the Beavers. He gets it out to Jones. Sammy into the front court with it, down the right side. Dribbling with it, gives it back to Baskins. He's on the point, takes it to the left side. They go into the lane with it to Owens, firing out of the lane. Good. Howard Owens from about 12 feet. 47-31. Tiger lead cut to 16. As Eades double team in the backcourt, gives it to Jeff St. Clair. They get to the front court to Stephon Strain. Strain holds it up, gives it to Eades. And Eades moves it down the left side, firing from 18 feet. Good. Mike Eades from the left side puts it in with that right hand. As the Tigers set up their own press. As Thomas in the backcourt with it for the Beavers. Gets it to Baskins. Baskins gets it back to Thomas. They get it to the front court to Owens. Owens on the left side. Starts it toward the quarter court. Leaves it for Baskins. Baskins comes up. Gives it back to Thomas. He goes to the baseline, firing out of the corner. It's off the iron. No good. Ball tipped outside. Picked up by Baskins on the run. Goes to the corner. Fires off the baseline. It's off the iron again. Rebound inside position to Owens. He is really chopped up by Jeff St. Clair. That's number 3 on Jeff. Team foul number 1 on the Tigers. And it'll be out of bounds to the Beavers as Owens had not started his shooting procedures. Or had he? Yeah, they're going to put him on the lane. No, they're going to give it out of bounds. Okay. As the inbound pass comes into Thomas, firing out of the corner. It's off the flange. No good. Rebound to the widow of the Tigers. James on the dribble with it. Moves it to the front court. Takes it toward the right side. Drives it toward the baseline. Fires off the iron. No good. Rebound pulled down by Jones of Bluefield. Behind the back dribble. In traffic into the front court. Picks the ball up. Goes the dribble again. Fires. Good.
Nope, they run a quarterback sneak with that one.
Yeah, he put it under his arm, didn't he? He sure did. 49-33. Tigers leading with 2:27 left to play in the third quarter. As DeWitt with the ball in the front court for the Tigers. Trying to get it underneath, gets it to Stephon. Puts it up and in. Stephon on a pretty feed from DeWitt. 51-33 as the Beavers gets it to the front court. Owens with the ball. Gives it to Den on the baseline. Firing on the turnaround shot. No good. Rebound to Eades of the Tigers. Eades out on the move with it on the dribble. Takes it toward the right side. Looking underneath. Now he's backing it away from traffic. Holds it up. Drops it to Miller. He's on the baseline. He'll fire off the baseline. Puts up the air ball. No good. Rebound. Pulled down by Sammy Jones of Bluefield. Jones takes it down the right side. Gives it to Baskin. Gives it back to Jones. He's in the corner with it. Right side. Stephon plays the defense. As Jones challenges, goes around, the ball knocked loose, picked up by Owens, firing out of the lane, good. Howard Owens puts it up and in on the loose ball. 51-35, a minute 37 to play in the third quarter. As Miller with the ball for the Tigers in the front court, gives it to DeWitt, drops it back to Miller in the lane, hooks off the baseline, off the iron, no good. DeWitt rebounds, puts it up, good. James DeWitt. 53-35. Tigers lead by 18 with a minute 20 to play in the third quarter. Up bounce pass deflected out of bounds by Jeff St. Clair. And we get a host of ball players off. We get Copley in. We get Smith in for the Beavers. We'll get Phillips in for the Tigers, and Miller will get a chance for this. Miller was suffering from a little bit of a cold earlier in the week. I know that he was working at one minute fatigue pressure.
Jeff St. Clair. Jimmy's taking a break with 12 points so far in the ballgame.
As Smith gets the ball in the corner with it to Jones. Gives it back outside to Kevin Smith for the Beavers. Goes around the horn with it to Baskins, and his ball's knocked out of bounds by St. Clair, but did they give it down to bounds to the Tigers?
They didn't give it to Princeton.
Did Baskins touch it over? He must have.
No, I didn't think St. Clair touched it. I thought he put some English on that ball and sort of spin away from the...
With his right hand, he couldn't do that. Well, he made that pass.
That ball...
St. Clair with the ball for the Tigers. Gets it to Eades. Eades is into the front court. They double team him. And he gets it to Phillips. Phillips on the quarter court. Drops it underneath the Stephon. Goes up, puts it up and in. Stephon strain for the Tigers. 55-35. A 20-point advantage for the Tigers now with 52 seconds to play in the third quarter. As Smith with the ball in the backcourt for the Beavers. Gets it to Baskins. Baskins into the front court with it to Owens. Goes to the baseline. Play holds up, fires, good. Howard Owens from 12 feet left side. 55-37. Tigers leading. We got 36 seconds to play in the third quarter. The court pass for the Tigers to Stephon Strain. He's in the front court, left side. Gives it outside to Jeff St. Clair. Holds it overhead. Gives it to Eades. Gives it back to St. Clair. As Jeff and Eades passing it back and forth on the near side. As 21 seconds on the clock, they're letting the clock run down. Cross-court pass with it to James DeWitt. 16 seconds on the clock. 55-37. Tigers are leading. Jeff St. Clair standing way out in the front corner. Gives it to Eades to DeWitt. Goes to the corner. Gives it to Eades in the lane. They double team him. Knock the ball loose. Eades with the ball. We got a whistle and a 3-second violation. Turns it over. We got 3 seconds left to play in the third quarter. And the Beavers will have the chance for one shot. That's Copley throwing it up to Jones. Jones takes the pass, firing. He is fouled by David Phillips as Phillips jumped him. The shot was no good. That's number 3 on David Phillips. That puts Sammy Jones on the line. That's team foul number 2 on the Tigers. But Jones will be on the line to shoot 2.
Team number 2.
And they'll put him out there to shoot. As Sammy Jones on the free throw line for the Beavers fires. First one is good. He'll get a second one. As Sammy Jones will get one more. 55-38. Jones fires it good. So at the end of the third quarter of play, the Princeton Tigers 59, the Bluefield Beavers, check it, Princeton Tigers 55, the Bluefield Beavers 39. We'll be back right after this.
In the first quarter, where am I at? It must be the third quarter.
We've been wondering about that all year, Bob.
We've got Mike Eades with 12 points, Jeff St. Clair with 12 points, James DeWitt with 14 points. Jimmy Miller has 12 points for Bluefield. Howard Owens came in, hit 3 field goals for 6 points. Sam Jones hit 2 field goals in the third quarter to give him 3 field goals on the game. Charlie, team save.
In the third quarter, identical shooting. Both teams shot 7-15 for the field. Princeton for 46%, and Princeton made 10 rebounds compared to 7 for Bluefield. Both teams committed 2 turnovers.
All right, we're ready for the fourth quarter of action, and the Beavers have got Den on the bench. They're going to have Owens in to jump against Miller. As Howard Owens in, Miller tips it to DeWitt, flips it over to Eades. Eades drives toward the lane, fires off the side of the lane. It's on the iron, no good. St. Clair trying to tip. It's no good. Rebound comes down to Owens of the Beavers. Owens gets it outside to Baskins. Baskins into the front court with it for Bluefield. Holds it up, top of the key. Drops it to Copley underneath. We got a traveling call on Russell Copley. Copley was wide open. He couldn't believe it, so he took a step to make sure. as the Beavers will press. St. Clair gets it up court to Stephon. Drives, lays it up. He is fouled. The bucket was no good. They really hammered him. That's Owens, I think, on the foul. And it is on Howard Owens. And it'll be his first foul. Team foul number 4. Now the Tigers are out there with Stephon Strain, Mike Eades, Jeff St. Clair, Jim Miller, and James DeWitt. While the Beavers are out there with Howard Owens, Sammy Jones, Russell Copley. As Stephon fires the first one, it's good. The Beavers have Dewey Baskins and Kevin Smith. As Stephon fires the second one, it's off the iron, no good. Rebound to Miller as he cleared over top of Owens. Fakes, fires, we got a whistle. And what did they call? It had to be on Copley, didn't it? It is on Copley, number 43. That's number 4 on Copley. Team foul number 5 on the Beavers. As Miller will go to the free throw line. Now, Jones is talking to the official saying, hey, how come that wasn't an offensive foul? But Miller was double teamed and had his pass established, and he and Copley collided pretty well. Copley took a pretty good spill on it, too, didn't he?
Sure did.
So we'll have Jim Miller on the free throw line for the Tigers. He'll shoot 2 shots. 7:34 left to play in the ball game. Princeton 56, Bluefield 39. As Jim fires, it's good. He'll have a second one. Jim fires. It's good. 58-39. Tiger lead by 19 with 7:33 left to play in the ball game. Baskins gets it to Jones. Jones in the backcourt with it. Now gives it to Baskins. They get it to the front court. On the left side to Thomas. In the corner, gives it back outside to Jones, firing good. Sammy Jones from 25 feet. 58-41, and the Beavers steal the ball from the Tigers. As Smith with it right now. Gives it back to Baskins, firing out of the corner. It's good. Dewey Baskins hits from the slam on the corner.
As field goal.
Is that Dewey's first field goal line? As they stop action to straighten the net. As the Tigers bring it in to Eades. Now back to St. Clair. Triple team in the backcourt. Gives it up in the front court to DeWitt. Comes down, fires from the left side. Good. James DeWitt. 60-43. Tigers lead by 17 with 6:55 left to play in the ball game. As Kevin Smith with the ball for Bluefield in the backcourt, gives it to Baskins into the front court now to Copley. Copley starts it down toward the baseline, holds it up, gives it back to Baskins. Now to Smith, firing from the top of the key. It's good. Kevin Smith from 20 feet. He's hit that shot a couple times now. 60-45, a 15-point advantage for the Tigers. As Miller takes the pass, gives it to Eades. Eades into the front court with it on the right side, still dribbling, a double teaming. He gets it outside to Jeff St. Clair. Jeff holds it high overhead and gives it to James DeWitt. DeWitt dribbles one time, flies across court to Stephon. Fake goes to baseline. We got a whistle. And a foul over there. Stephon and Copley, that's Kevin Smith. They talking to each other, but now Kevin, T-Bone's no Princeton kid. That's number 1 on Kevin. Team foul number 6 on the Beavers.
Glenn, an old midget basketball fan, Kevin Smith played on the same team with Eades, St. Clair, Miller. DeWitt was on the second team a year behind him.
That's the one that the team coached by Bob Graham upset, wasn't it?
No, I wish.
Stephon fires the first free throw. It's good. He'll have a second one. 61-45. Tigers in the lead. 6:20 left to play in the ball game. As Stephon fires again, it's good. 62-45. And the Beavers want a timeout. So with 6:20 left to play in the ball game, it is Princeton 62, Bluefield 45. We'll be back right after this.
What do you think, Glenn?
They're doing all right. They play good defense.
Yeah.
And they're moving the ball around. Everybody's in the offense.
Let's control the ball game.
Right. Huh?
Let's control the tempo.
As we're back live here at the Armory, and I've got Bob Graham on the right side, Charlie Wright on the wrong side. I said that once before.
That's the only side Charlie Wright can sit on, by the way.
And Bob Graham wouldn't let Charlie sit on his over next to him because he poured a soft drink over him last week.
He didn't pour a soft drink. He poured half of the Pepsi-Cola bottling company on me. Well, I bought it. I bought it, so I just poured it all over you. It was an accident, Bob. We always knew Charlie was wealthy. Now we know how wealthy.
When Bob walked out here at night, those stiff pants, he looked like a little bit saddle sore, didn't he?
He did, didn't he? I couldn't say anything, though, Glenn. I could.
Yeah, you said a lot too, did you? We're ready to go. The Beavers will have the ball in the backcourt. Kevin Smith will inbound it to Dave Baskins. They've got Mike Dent back in the ball game. Baskins gives it back to Smith, and Smith into the front court with it now on the far side to On Gives it to Jones. Back to Smith. To Jones, deep in the corner. Comes out toward the lane with it. Gives it back outside to Smith. He's on the point position. They come around the horn to Baskin. Flying from the right side. Good. Baskin from 20 feet. Puts it in. 62-47 as St. Clair against the press. Dribbling into the front court. Leads it to Eades. Eades goes to the corner. Holds it up. Gives it back outside to St. Clair. They come across court with it to James DeWitt. As DeWitt drops it to Eades in the lane. On the post. Drops it underneath to Miller. Slammed up. As Miller laid it down there. A pretty feed from Eades. 64-47 as Baskins working against the press. Gets it to Jones. Jones into the front court with a jump. Shoots from 18 feet. It's in and out. No good. We got a whistle and a foul. And is that on?
On Mike Eades.
It is on Mike Eades. That's going to be number 4 on Mike. And team foul number 3 on the Tigers. We got 5.5 minutes to play in the ball game. 5:31. It is 64-47. Tigers on the lead as Bluefield inbounds the ball to Kevin Smith. Gives it outside to Joey Baskin. Baskin top of the key, gives it to Smith, and he'll come to the point position. Now he'll fire from 20 feet. It's over the flange, no good. St. Clair takes the long rebound into the front court with it. Leads it over to Eades. Goes under, lays it up and in. Mike Eades in traffic on a feed from St. Clair. 66-47. As Baskin's into the front court, has it taken away by St. Clair. Drives, lays it up and no good. We got a foul on Smith. And that's number 2 on Smith. As St. Clair laid it on the glass just a hair too low because that ball was crawling on that rim and just couldn't hardly make it. Jeff St. Clair will be on the line. He'll shoot. Is it a 2-shot or 1-on-1? Was he foul after the shot?
It must be a 2-shot. There's 2, Glenn.
You're right. It is 2. 5:07 to play. Tigers lead 66-47. St. Clair hits it. 67-47 now. The Tigers lead by 20. Scooter Quill in the ballgame for the Tigers. And the Beavers want a timeout. So with 5:07 left to play, Princeton 67, Bluefield 47. We'll be back right after this. Seconds to play, and they over that clip I heard just in. I didn't see. What was I saying anyway? I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm thinking back over some of the sectional finals we've had the last 2 or 3 years. This one's a little different, isn't it?
It sure is, because they've usually gone right down to the wire. And it's always been a situation where you can throw out the record and Katie bar the door. But this one has been a little different. Princeton's played good team ball, and they've been able to control this ball game.
Jeff St. Clair on the line for the Tigers. Fires that free throw. It's good. He got front iron, skipped it to the glass, and dropped it in the net. 68-47. Tigers press as Jones works it toward the front court. Gets it to Dent. Dent throws it across court, trying to get it to on. Knocked loose, picked up by the Tigers. As St. Clair will bring it to the front court for the Tigers. Starts to accelerate, then it holds it up. Moves it toward the right side. Whips it underneath to Stephon. He puts it up and in. Boy, dandy pass. And St. Clair looked like a baseball pitcher. He wound up and burned it through there. 70-47. Tigers lead as Dent takes the up court pass for the Beavers in the front court. Goes to the baseline. Picks it up. Fires good. Mike Dent from about 12 feet right side. As the ball gets loose in the crowd.
Glenn, to indicate what kind of game this has been, Mike Dent only has 3 field goals for 6 points in the ballgame.
As DeWitt inbounds it to Guell against the press, and the scoreboard clock just went off. As the Tigers going down, Miller puts it up and in. It's good. We don't have any clock.
Now we have a clock.
Check the plug over there. Plug it in. As we're still on, are we?
We're still on. I really can't. I hope we don't have to try to read that clock. They gonna count that last 7, aren't they?
Well, I don't know, are they?
They should.
Now, the clock went out when they were in the back court.
Yeah. But the official did not stop play.
Well, he didn't know it was stopped. They couldn't get any signals to him. Couldn't ring a buzzer.
Does that mean the bucket is not good?
Well, I don't know what it means.
It went out.
They going to vote on it or what?
No, I think they've overruled the basket, Glenn.
Yeah, they've overruled.
I hope that I am incorrect.
Well, it'll be Tiger ball out of bounds then, won't it?
Yeah, should be. The clock went out down there when they
no, that was on a quarter court there. That's right.
You know, one thing that is reminiscent of the sectional tournament over here last year, and that is that the clock went out a couple of times. Remember?
Well, it went out Thursday night, too.
We have an emergency here somewhere. Dr. Block
They need to get a doctor out of the crowd. Now, what's the time left? Can anybody read that?
It can't be 8:73.
What's around 2 minutes or?
No, it's about 4.5.
Oh, it's less than 4.5. The last time I thought it was 4.5.
Was it?
No, I think it is less than 4.5.
I don't have any idea.
How much time we got left, Mr. Lincoln? 4:35 left in the ball game.
That's what I said, about 4.5, didn't I?
You're right. Yeah, that's pretty close.
Man, I had it down 2 minutes, didn't I?
Yeah.
Hey, remember last week at Williamson when we looked at the clock and it was 2:50 something, then we looked up and it was 1:50 something?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's wrong with Scooter?
And the clock went off again.
Scooter said he hurt his finger. He got a hangnail. And Stefan's not too concerned about it all. He's walking out there. Miller looks like he's about to work up a sweat. The Tigers standing right here in front of us, quietly wondering what's going on. So now they've got it set back to 0. What are they going to set it at? 5 minutes? I believe they are. No, they got it at 4 minutes.
4:30. Well, if they show 4 minutes, then the basket should be good because we've had 35 seconds.
So I don't know what they're going to do.
I like that 2 minutes myself.
Well, the game's not that close, really, so it's really an academic situation.
Yeah, it's true.
You just, as they're milling around here, and while they're going, somebody got a timeout, or what are we doing? Anybody know?
We're working on the clock, I guess.
They brought a whole bunch of trophies out here and stood right down in front of us. And Bob, you didn't earn one of them.
No, sir. But these fellas that are going to get them probably earned them more than any of the three of us.
Oh, I don't know about
However, after that ride to Williamson, we might have had a piece of one someplace in there.
Yeah, we should have earned something. Now they're bringing it down to 4:35. They're going to run it down to 4:35, I guess. Now, what we're going to do? It's showing the score right now, 70-49. Tigers leading. And it's going to be out of bounds to the Tigers at midcourt.
Jimmy Miller has 16 points instead of 18.
Yeah. They took the last bucket away. As DeWitt will inbound it against the Beaver press, and he gets it into Guerrero. Guerrero in the back court. He's guarded by Smith. Guerrero reverse dribble into the front court, and he gets it to St. Clair. Jeff, cross court with it to DeWitt. Goes under, lays it up. No good. Rebound knocked loose, out of bounds off the Tigers. As Dent may have deflected that shot a little bit. So Kevin Smith inbounds it to Dewey Baskins. Gives it back to Kevin Smith. Smith into the front court with it to Baskins. As they go down the right side to Owens. Owens pulls up, firing from outside, puts up the air ball, no good. Dent puts it up, no good. Rebound tipped high in the air. Tipped around, knocked loose, and it's on the floor. Picked up by Kevin Smith in the corner for the Beavers. Gets it outside to Sammy Jones. Jones holding it up. Gives it out to Baskins. He's on the point. Gives it back to Jones. Fake. Goes toward the lane. Fires. Good. Jones from about 12 feet. 70-51. Tigers leading by 19. And Jeff St. Clair will bring it to the front court for the Tigers. We got 3:50 to play in the ball game. As St. Clair goes to the baseline. Drops it over to Miller. Miller firing good. Jim Miller on a feed from St. Clair. 72-51. So now Miller's got his 18. He got him back. 3:37 to play. As St. Clair steals the up court pass for the Beavers. Goes down. Gives it to Stephon. Goes under. Lays it up and in. Good. Stephon Strain. 74-51. The Tigers leading. As Owens with the ball for the Beavers. In the front court. Picks it up. Goes down. Lays it up. No good. Rebound. Fought for Stephon. Comes out with it. As Dent may have interfered with the cylinder and flipped that ball out of there, really.
Well, we had one in the first half. Jimmy might have done the same thing. Except Jimmy made his.
As Squill into the front court, and they call him for turning the ball. So it'll be out of bounds for the Beavers as Kevin Smith will inbound it from right in front of our broadcast position. If he sits on my head, I'll break his leg. As T-Bone inbounds it to Baskins, he gives it right back to T-Bone. He'll go to the point position. Now he leaves it for Baskins. Baskins comes around to the near side to Jones. Goes to the baseline. Drops underneath the Dent. Slam dunk. Grab the rim. There's a technical on Dent. That basket is good. 74-53. Tigers lead. Technical foul on Mike Dent for grabbing the rim. So the Tigers will get a technical free throw and the ball out of bounds. No big deal. As Mike Eades will come up to check into the ball game, and he'll go back in for the Tigers. And they'll put Miller out at the free throw line to shoot the technical free throw. As Jim fires. It's off the front of the iron, no good. As we got paper on the floor. People crowd throwing stuff on the floor. So the Tigers will have it out of bounds at midcourt. James DeWitt will inbound it. Gets it into Jeff St. Clair in the backcourt. Jeff on the dribble, behind the back, comes to the front court, starts it down the lane, goes down, lays it over to Miller. Ball loose on the floor. Miller puts it up over his head. No good. He is fouled. And I believe that was on Dent. It's on Dent or on. I'm not sure. It's on Dent. That's number 3 on Mike.
Well, this game's not very close. We first lead by 21, but Bluefield, Princeton is still not on the 1-1 situation when Bluefield is fouled. When Bluefield is fouled by Princeton, Bluefield is not on the 1-1.
Jim Miller on the line to shoot 2 shots. 74-53, Tigers leading. As Jim, he'll fire with the right hand. It's up and on the iron. Good. Boy, he hung it on the left side, finally dropped it.
19 points on the night.
75-53, Tigers lead. 2:49 left to play in the ballgame. As Jim fires again, it's good. 76-53, Tigers lead now by 23. As Kevin Smith with the ball for Bluefield in the backcourt. Against the press, into the front court with it to Owen. Starts it toward the left side, holds it up, brings it outside, gives it to Kevin Smith. Smith goes to the right side. Back cross court with it to Jones. Firing from 23 feet, it's off the iron, no good. Miller rebounds for the Tigers. As Jim holds it up, looking for help, gets it from Scooter Grill. Scooter gets it to St. Clair. Jeff works on Kevin Smith, brings it through traffic, picks it up, gives it to Mike Eades. Eades on the wing, left side. Brings it outside. 2:20 to play in the ballgame. As St. Clair drives, lays it up and in. Jeff St. Clair wheeling down the lane, takes it up and in. 78-53, a 25-point advantage for the Tigers. As Kevin Smith with the ball in the backcourt for the Beavers. Gets it to Baskin. Backs his way into the front court. Holds it. Gives it to Owens on the high post. Fires over top of Miller. It's no good. Miller got a piece of it. We got a foul underneath. As Eades come down with the ball, and Dent fouled him. And Eades may be injured. That's number 4 on Dent. As Eades hit the floor pretty hard there. As for the Tigers, we'll get Jeff Adams into the ballgame. And for the Beavers, we'll get Russell Copley back in. Dent checks out. Coming into the ballgame for Bluefield also is Charles Brooks. Brooks coming in. As the Tigers now will have Jim Miller, Jeff Adams, Mike Eades, Jeff St. Clair, and James DeWitt. As the Beavers are out there with Copley, Owens. As the first throw is good by Eades. I got lost the beef. Oh, there he is. There's Baskins and Jones over on the far side, and also Charles Brooks on the near side. Okay. Mike Eades to shoot the second shot of his 1-1. 79-53 as Eades fires. It's good. 80-53. The Tigers leading the Beavers. As Brooks brings it to the front court for the Beavers. Starts it toward the lane. Goes down the lane. Firing out of the lane. No good. Rebound by Copley. Dribbles one time. Puts it up and in. Russell Copley hits it for Beaver. 80-55. Tigers leading by 25 as St. Clair under a full head of steam into the front court. They pinch him. He gives it to Miller. Slam dunk. And he is fouled. And they call a technical on Jim that time. But he was fouled by Copley.
That will be number 5 on Copley, I believe.
And it's 5 on Copley. So now we have the bucket was good by Jim Miller. He was fouled by Russell Copley. He'll shoot 1 shot. Then we have a technical foul called on Miller, and Beaver will shoot 1 technical free throw, and it'll be Beaver ball out of bounds. I think that's the way we'll read this. 1:37 left to play in the ballgame. And Miller will have 1 free throw. As Jim's on the line to shoot his free throw. He puts it up. It's good. And now, one of the Beavers will get a technical. They'll send Jones up to shoot, I'm sure. Yes, he will. Sammy Jones will go out to shoot the technical. And then the Beavers will have the ball out of bounds at midcourt. 83-55. The Tigers are leading. Now, wait a minute. They're lining them up on the... They can't do that. What are the official calling the players down there for?
Thought it was a mistake. An inadvertent error on the official part, I believe.
Okay, Jones will shoot the technical free throw. Sammy fires. It's no good. And it'll be Beaver ball out of bounds at midcourt. They'll take it on the far side. Baskins will inbound it. Baskins inbounds it to Brooks. Brooks at the top of the key. Starts it to the lane. We got a whistle and a foul called on St. Clair for reaching in. That's number 4 on Jeff. Team foul number 4 on the Tigers. A minute 34 left to play in the ball game, and the Beavers have not gone on the bonus in the second half. Does that tell us anything? I don't know if it does not. Whatever it is, we don't want to mention it, do we?
Hell, Miss Princeton played a fine ball game here tonight.
As the Beavers inbounded, Baskins with the ball on the far side. Gives it to Brooks. Brooks brings it across the top of the key, goes back across court with it to Jones. Drives underneath, firing off the side of the lane, no good. Jones rebounds into the lane, fires, good. 83-57. St. Clair gets the ball to the Witt. He's into the front court with it. They double team him. He gives it back to Jeff St. Clair. Goes into the lane with it. Searches back behind the back pass to Eades. Double clutches, puts it up in the air. Mike Eades on an acrobatic turkey shot. 85-57. The Tigers lead as Jones brings it back to the front court and drives, fires, good. He is fouled by Adams, I believe.
They might have got
No, they're calling it on Miller. That's number 2 on Jim. Team foul number 5 on the Tigers, and Sugar will catch them in the ball game. And Jeff St. Clair will get a break. 85-59. The Tigers lead with a minute 2 to play in the ball game. David Phillips comes in for the Tigers. James DeWitt will come out. Listen to the hand. Oh, he'll get it.
Jeff St. Clair leads the game, Glenn, with 6 field goals, 4 or 5 from the foul line for 16 points. I believe this probably...
Jeff St. Clair could be most valuable player of this game if we pick one.
I believe he probably is in my book.
I agree with you. A lot of motion, hustle. Played very fine ball game out there tonight.
Sammy Jones on the free throw line. Fires. It's no good. Rebound. Pulled down by the Beavers. As Owens puts the shot up. Good. Howard Owens puts it back up and in for the Beavers. 85-61. Tigers leading. As the Tigers up to the front court, turn the ball over, they throw it away. And we got a technical foul. Call on Mike Eades for grabbing the rim. For grabbing a net. What did he grab? As Joseph Harrison gets off the bench to come in for the Tigers, and Eades will get a chance to come out.
When all of the Princeton starters are in double figures tonight.
So Harrison checks in, and coming in also will be Troy Clemens for the Tigers. Troy leads the state in field goal percentage. As Sammy Jones shooting a technical free throw for the Beavers hits it. So 52 seconds to play. Jimmy Miller comes out of the ball game now for the Tigers.
23 points for Jimmy Knight, right on his average.
He's averaging 24 even.
Right.
85-62. Tigers lead as Brooks firing for the Beavers off the iron. Good. 85-64 now with 44 seconds to play. Or they put it at 62. They don't add it up. As Will brings it to the front court. Gives it to Clemens. Firing off the baseline. Good. Troy Clemens hits it for the Tigers. 87-64. Tigers lead with 30 seconds to play in the ball game. As Brooks into the front court with it for the Beavers. As Jones with the ball on the baseline, we got a whistle and a foul on one of the Tigers over there. And is it on
David Phillips?
David Phillips, it'll be number 4. Checking into the ball game for the Tigers will be David Tabor. And Clemens comes out. As Clemens comes out laughing, he got his bucket. He still leads the state in field goal percentage. He took one shot and made it. He didn't hurt himself. Jones fires the free throw, no good. Jones will have another one. 87-64 with 24 seconds to play. Jones fires it on the iron, good. Coming in for the Beavers now will be William Bailey.
Sammy Jones leads the ball game.
As Sammy Jones comes out, playing a fine ball game, and it ends his high school career. As Mike Dent's already out, ending his high school career for the Beavers. As Joseph Harrison with the ball, double team in the backcourt. Taken away again by Will. Now taken away by the Beavers again. Coming up with it is Charles Brooks. Goes down, drives, fires, no good. Rebound, fought for, comes out by Harrison. Joseph into the front court to Phillips. Overthrows him, and goes into the crowd. It'll be Beaver ball. Eades gives Phillips 5 as he comes off the floor. But Charlie Wright that was Gary Wright giving him 5 over in the crowd. As the Beavers with the ball. Bailey throwing it left the court at the buzzer. That's the ball game. The Tigers win it. The Tigers winning the ball game over the Bluefield Beavers by a final score of 87-65. And we'll be back with a wrap-up. First, let's pause for this. The final score, the Princeton Tigers 87, the Bluefield Beavers 65, as the Tigers qualify to go to the regional tournament. And that will be next Saturday night at the Raleigh County Armory, as they'll play the winner of tonight's game over there between the Oak Hill Red Devils and the Beckley Flying Eagles. The Tigers put together 4 quarters tonight of 20 points in the first quarter, 18 in the second, 23 in the third, 32 in the fourth, for a game total of 87 points. The Beavers put together 4 quarters of 11, 22, 16, and 26 for a game total of 65. As they present the sectional championship trophy to the Tigers, Mike Eades and Jeff St. Clair holding it high overhead. So, Teresa, while you're on the board. Okay, Bob, you got it.
In this ball game, Bluefield had a lot of players who scored tonight. Sammy Jones was the game's high scorer. He had 7 field goals, 12 of 14 from the foul line, 26 points on the night. Sammy's points came, most of them, in that second half. Joey Baskins, well below his average, 2 field goals, 0 for 1 from the foul line, 4 points. Joe Dawson, 3 of 7 from the foul line in the first half, 3 points on the night. Russell Copley, 3 field goals, 6 points. Mike Dent, 4 field goals, 8 points. Stephon Thomas came in, 2 field goals for 4 points. T-Bone Kevin Smith came in, 2 field goals, 4 points. Howard Owens, 4 field goals, all in the second half, 8 points on the night. Charles Brooks came in, had 1 field goal for 2 points. Bluefield on the night had 25 field goals, 15 of 22 from the foul line, 65 points. For Princeton, Mike Eades, 6 field goals, 6 of 7 from the foul line, 18 points. Jeff St. Clair, 5 field goals, 4 of 5 from the foul line, 16 points. Easily Jeff St. Clair's best ball game of the season. He drove well. He penetrated. He got the shot off. He got the assist. He did an excellent job tonight. James DeWitt, 8 field goals, 16 points. Stephon Strain in the second half had a bunch of foul shots. He had 4 field goals all in the second half, 4 of 8 from the foul line, 12 points. Jimmy Miller, 8 field goals, 7 of 8 from the foul line, 7 of 8 from the foul line, 23 points on the night. Troy Clemens came in, and Mr. Clutch had 1 field goal for 2 points.
Kept his state shooting percentage at the
kept that average right up there, giving Princeton 23 field goals, 21 of 28 from the foul line, 87 points on the night. Bluefield, 25 field goals, 15 of 22 from the foul line, 65 points. 87-65 final score. Charlie, team set.
Okay, the team set shows final goals. Princeton 33 of 60 for 55%. Bluefield 25 of 60 for 41%. And rebound, Princeton out-rebounded Bluefield 35 to 23. Princeton committed 19 turnovers compared to 16 for Bluefield. I thought it was a very fine performance for Princeton tonight. Played well defensively. It was a team effort, William.
Sure was. We'll be back with more. First, let's pause for this. We're at the Armory. We've got Tiger Coach Ralph sitting alongside. Coach, it's getting to be a habit to go to the regional tournament. It's a pretty nice habit, isn't it?
Yeah, our kids played a heck of a ball game, William. I mean, really a great team effort.
This may be the finest effort the Tigers have put together all year.
Outside of a few mental mistakes at times during the game, they played great basketball.
Well, they shot on the game 55%. They got good shots. They passed the ball around with very crisp passing. And we were observing here, this may have been the finest all-around game the Tigers have played this year.
Well, it was one of the better games. And the big thing, they played so hard and wanted to win so bad. And they came out there with a team effort and started to first the ball game and never let up.
The thing that we were remarking on constantly was the defense the Tigers were playing. And even though we had several players with 2 fouls, the Beavers never did get to the one-on-one in the second half. Now, that's, imagine, a good defense, filling in for the fella and not making the careless fouls.
Right, and played good defense, rebounded real well. They didn't get too many second shots, and that made a big difference in it, and our defense was great overall.
And, of course, you shut the Beavers down. Jones got 26 points, but nobody else even got anywhere near double figures for them.
We only got 12 of them on free throws, and we was fouling him, and we shouldn't have been fouling him.
But the big story, the balanced scoring of the Tigers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 guys in double figures. So you have 5 starters out there. How many more can you get in double figures?
It was great. Like I say, it was great team effort, good balance, moved the ball well, and like I said, they started the first minute of the ball game and never let up.
All right, now, you can feel good about this one. Well, you get back home and you'll have a sandwich and you sleep tonight. You get up in the morning, you got to start thinking about the regional tournament. And you don't know who you're going to play yet, but either one of them
a very tough ball club. Joe Hill, as we saw them earlier in the year, very young and certainly as they mature, a very tough ball club. And of course, we know what Beckley can do as we lost one to them earlier this year. Would you have any preference on who you would?
No, I'm a poor predictor. I'd say it's really an even ball game, and I don't know which one of the teams will win over there, but either one will be real tough playing on Beckley's home court. And whether we play Oak Hill or Beckley, we got to work it out for us.
However, I will say this, that if the Tigers can have another sustained effort like they had tonight, they can handle either one of them, but it will take the kind of effort that we've had.
Yeah, you can't go upstate with a bad effort. There's no doubt about that.
The basketball throughout the state, Coach, in the AAA ranks, there are teams that are certainly capable of winning it. You've got, of course, Williamson we know about, the St. Albans you know about, the teams up north of Wheeling Park and so forth. And if you can, anybody who wins the state tournament this year is going to have just a superior team with a superior effort.
Yeah, we're glad you get this stage just playing one at a time. We got to worry about next Saturday night and whoever we're going to play, and we got to be ready and prepared to win, and then we'll worry about the other thing because you don't even know who's going to be upstate or what's going to happen. So I don't even worry about that just next week.
Will you do anything special with the Tigers in practice this week, or you kind of keep it low key?
Well, we had this past week we had 3 good practices. We worked real hard Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, not long but hard, and it gave us time to work on stuff we haven't had time to work on. We played 10 games in the last 4 weeks, and we're just playing from game to game and trying to correct a few errors and trying to get ready for someone else, and didn't give us much chance to work on things. So this week's preparation will give us a chance to work on a lot of basic fundamentals and try to play better basketball.
The passing of the Tigers, and I've got to comment on this again because it's just amazing. The passing of the Tigers tonight was just extremely sharp.
Yeah, they were looking for each other, and that's a big part of the game.
Because we had a lot, I don't know, we don't have an assist total, but the assist total for the night's going to be high.
Yeah, and it was spread out pretty evenly throughout the team.
Also, we commented that Jeff St. Clair, very emotional, very high, may have been taking a position of a floor leader out there tonight, and Jeff was just all over the floor, as did all you seniors. And I think maybe while we got a chance, we should comment on him a little bit. Jim Miller's getting a superior effort all year, as Jeff and Mike and Stefan, and I don't know of any players that you could really done without.
No, they're all, it's definitely a team effort, and our boys we're putting in the ball game. In addition to them, we got Scooter Wheel came in and played real well, and David Phillips really got a couple of assists, a couple of rebounds. He came in and played strong, and Jeff Adams, we got boys that really help and really come in there and play tough basketball.
I've got to ask you this one question now. You know, Troy Clemens leads the state of West Virginia in field goal percentage.
But in minutes played?
No, he's had 3 field goals from the field this year, made all 3 of them. That's not good.
Yeah, we got one tonight real quick.
On 1 attempt. And
right, 1 for 1.
I noticed he came out, he had a great big grin on his face, and you and Bruce had a big grin.
Well, we was hoping to make it because we had another boy we hadn't put in there yet, and we want to let our sophomores play as much as we can because they haven't played that much this year, and we try to get them ready for the next game, and we tried to keep Scooter and David in there as much as we could, and try to move them other boys around so all of them would get a chance to play.
But this, by and large, was a fun tournament game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great effort, great team effort.
Coach, congratulations on the win. We'll see you in Beckley next Saturday night at the Raleigh County Armory.
Okay, hope we have the same results.
Good enough. Coach Ralph Ball, the Princeton Tigers, as the Tigers victorious here tonight with a final score of 87-65. They put together the 4 big quarters to take the victory over the Beavers by 22 points. And the game really wasn't that. Tigers were in control from the first quarter on. At the end of the first quarter, they had a 9-point lead. At halftime, they had a 15-point lead. At the end of the third quarter, the lead was 16 points. As that couldn't be right, because they outscored the Beavers 23-16, 55.
The lead at one point went up to 27 points in that fourth quarter.
And then the final score, the margin 22 points, 87-65. And Bob, as we wrap this thing up, we can get it off here. The Tigers now take their record out on the season. Let me get my little handy-dandy chart out here.
16-6.
16-6. And now they're ready for regional tournament play. So, what do you got to say about it all?
Well, did something a little unusual yesterday. I sat down and looked at some of the figures we had last year and found a remarkable similarity in the scoring for Princeton this year and last year. And everybody seems to be just about at the same level they were last year scoring-wise. The only difference is that the competition, I think, has been a little tougher this year, whether or not it was Princeton being the top dog or what. And I hope Princeton goes into that ball game this coming Saturday night, plays the same type of ball game they did tonight, really, they could have run the score up, I believe, on Beaver. In that second quarter, they slowed the ball down. They played very patient ball, and they had the fast break worked for them. But Princeton played a very patient ball game tonight. Still got 87 points. So the game wasn't very...
Their assist total is going to be phenomenal.
It really does. Really does. A real good ball game. I don't think they had that many turnovers, did they, Charlie?
Well, now they committed 19 turnovers. But
most of
they
those
was running. Yeah, they was running. And
were those late in the ball game, most of them? What were they at?
Now, they had 11 at halftime and 8 in the second half.
Well, that's kind of surprising.
Yeah. But they was running and passing.
Well, in the first quarter, they had several while they were settling down.
Yeah, they had 5 in the first quarter.
Yeah, it was early. Okay. Final comments as we close this sectional tournament down.
Let me make one comment. That is that Coach Ball won't be committal on who he wants to see in that regional tournament. But I know it's Beckley's home court. I personally would rather see them play Beckley than Oak Hill, because Oak Hill's young, they're big, and they scare me.
Y'all still on the radio?
Yeah, we're still on the radio. Pick up the mic.
You want to say something, Earl?
As Earl Eades comes over. Hey, Mike, congratulations on the big game.
We'll turn him off in 5 minutes.
You're on.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, thank you. Thanks a lot.
And what'd you have tonight?
Man, 18.
18. And a couple of bruises.
A couple of fouls. I thought it was around one more and you would have been sitting down.
I had some zone fouls in the first half. I shouldn't have had.
You know, you're only allowed 4 fouls in a basketball game, so the 5th one disqualifies you.
Well, he cut that allowance pretty close tonight.
I think he did. As we're talking with Mike Eades, and I guess, Mike, you know, that may be your last official basketball game in Mercer County.
No, I never thought of it like that, but I guess you're right. Well, you know, I've had enjoyable 3 years at Princeton High School, and I'd like to really thank y'all for doing the games all these years, really.
Bob will buy you a soft drink.
Well, but I'm being serious, too.
Well, I know we said a while ago that when they handed out those little trophies.
Yeah, well.
Well, you know what happened on that thing, Mike. Let me tell you, you know how they vote for the all-tournament team?
How's that?
Each coach, the team that wins, the coach can pick 3 players. And the other 2 coaches can pick 2 players. It's not a vote. If it had been a vote, the Tigers had to have 4 on.
Are we on the air?
Yeah, we're on the air.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you want to be? You don't want to be on the air?
Yeah, I want to be on there.
Okay. So, hey, Mike, you played the game here at the Tigers. Now you've been a part of a state championship team. You've been a part of a state tournament team, and now you're going to the regional.
All right.
Does this put any pressure on you as a senior?
Oh no, I'm looking forward to it. Really am. Y'all wouldn't have to know who won the game tonight.
No, we haven't heard. Does it make any difference?
Personally, most players like to play Oak Hill, but if we play Beckley, you know, we'll still go after them. I believe we can win the game if we play our ball like we played tonight. If we play again like that, you know, we'll be going up state.
Somebody made the comment where you were standing out there on the free throw line. You shot a technical free throw to start the game.
Right.
You went out there with the crowd hollering at you, and you were center of attention. You warmed up by flipping your right wrist a couple of times. Somebody made the comment that Eades was sort of a free spirit, that the pressure wouldn't bother him.
Well, I don't know about that.
I think we got his attention.
No, I'll just go out there and try to do just like it was in practice or anything else. You know,
Who's the toughest team? The Tigers this year has played a lot of tough competition. Everybody has been gunning for you. And you guys have seen a lot of collapsing defenses, a lot of out there tonight. It seemed to me like there was a lot of hands on you guys.
Well, that's true. That's right. And this year, we played some of the best teams in the state. We lost to Williamson twice, and Dobbins Bennett, they're still undefeated down in Tennessee. But, you know, playing the good teams will help us out in the tournament.
Somebody made the comment, of all the teams that the Tigers have played this year, only 2 have not been rated in the top 15 of the respective state at one time or another. And that was Independence and Mountain View.
I didn't
all the rest of them rated in the top 10 of the respective states at one time or another.
Well, I guess you schedule these tough games, you know, they help us get better for the tournament and help us improve as a player and everything.
St. Clair said that Eadesburg will take a shower. He's starting to smell. Is that right?
No.
I heard that. Well,
Mike, hey, congratulations on a big victory. Congratulations on your 3rd straight sectional championship.
All right, thanks a lot.
That's Mike Earl Eades. We got Charlie right over side. Charlie, final comments.
That's a very fine ball game, team effort-wise, and very good way to start the new season, Glenn. This is a new season for Tigers. They need to have the momentum going tonight, and they just came out to play basketball. That's just about all you can say. And if this momentum will carry them to Beckley, it sure will help.
All right, Tigers 16-6 on the year. Going to make it 17-6 and go upstate and win about 5-4. Is that right? How many to take up
right.
anyway? 3 or 4?
4.
4.
It'll take 4 counting the regional game.
Okay, 4 more wins and we got it. All right, I'm Glenn May, and I've had Charlie Rise alongside on the left side. I've had Bob Graham alongside on the right side. We've had a dry night so far. And I say I appreciate the fact that you've allowed us to be a part of your evening. In fact, we say thanks so much for listening. Good night, all.
There's also some high school basketball action tonight as the sectional tournaments come down to a close. Bluefield was eliminated by the Princeton Tigers tonight. The Tigers beat them handily, 87-65. The game was never close. The Tigers led all the way through. Also, Oak Hill beat Beckley tonight, 70-65. It was Baileysville over Oceana, 49-33. Athens beat Union in overtime, 50-48. Danny Weitzel had 16 points for Athens in that game. Also, Charleston Catholic beat Fayetteville, 54-36. It was Williamson, the top-rated team in the state, beating Logan tonight, 61-58, and Greenbrier East out Braxton, 52-44.